I want to make you uncomfortable. I want to push you to have second thoughts. Have you ever noticed that the Old Testament and the Qur'an seem to agree on one thing: divine destruction? Both books say God wiped out the earth with a flood and burned Sodom and Gomorrah to ash. They say these were God's response to sin. But here is the question: if God's answer to sin is destruction, why did sin come back? If killing the bad was the fix, but evil keeps growing, does it mean God lacks a permanent solution to evil? These books also say God intentionally hardened Pharaoh's heart just to destroy him. They say he told the Israelites to kill idol worshippers. This creates a massive tension. If God is linked to this kind of force, how do we make sense of it when we look at his later teachings? This is where it gets complicated. Jesus, the Son of God, gave teachings that go directly against these old patterns. He told Peter that those who live by the sword will die by it. He said the thief is the one who comes to kill, steal, and destroy. By saying this, Jesus drew a line between God's purpose and destructive forces. This leads to a disturbing thought. If Jesus shows us exactly who God is, would God himself have been the one behind the killings in the old stories? Jesus called the devil a murderer from the beginning. Yet, throughout the official Bible, there is no record of the devil personally killing anyone. But some writings outside the Bible suggest the devil influenced Cain to kill Abel. Furthermore, if God is the one who sent the floods and the fire, but the devil is then called a murderer, isn't that a double standard? Is it justice when God kills, but murder when the devil does? God forbid. People argue that God used judgment then, but shows grace now. But the book of Hebrews says, Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. If he never changes, then his moral standards can't change either. Think about it. Jesus scolded his disciples for wanting to call down fire on their enemies like Elijah did. If Jesus stopped them, how do we explain the stories where God used fire as judgment? Was God inconsistent, or are those stories meant to be understood differently? Ironically, the sinners, the old stories said deserved death, were the very people Jesus chose to love. He ate with them and offered them a way to change. Instead of destruction, he brought redemption. Jesus told the religious leaders that the devil is the father of lies. He said they couldn't hear the truth because they were committed to the lies they already believed. If the Son of God came to expose a spiritual lie, the next move of evil would be to attack the messenger by calling him just a prophet, while citing that God doesn't have a son, or denying he ever existed. They weaken his message without ever facing it. If this makes you feel uneasy, perhaps that feeling is intentional. For further discussion, check the sample, The Nature of God,